Alright, let me ask you something. Why the hell do writers every freaking time gotta make everything mean something else? You're reading about a freaking tree, and your English teacher's like, oh, it symbolizes death, rebirth, social class, and colonialism. Lady, it's a tree. It's just standing there. Now look, I didn't hate reading. I hated reading while being psychoanalyzed like a lab rat. You hand me a book, and suddenly I'm expected to understand the inner trauma of a character because he wore red socks. Red socks. If red socks mean rage, then I've been pissed off since 1980s. Apparently, writers use symbolism to deepen the meaning, which is a fancy way of saying, we don't want to say it directly because that'd be too easy and we want to sound smart. It's like putting your feelings in a box, burying it in the backyard, and then asking your therapist to dig it up blindfolded. And don't get me started on high school analysis. You read The Great Gatsby, and suddenly a green light means the American dream, the unattainable future, envy, money, Kermit the Frog's emotional breakdown. What are we doing? Here are some famous examples, and why they drive us nuts. Moby Dick. The whale is evil. No wait, he's God, or capitalism, or trauma from your childhood. No, he's just a damn whale. Lord of the Flies. A conch shell that stands for order and civilization until a kid throws a rock and civilization just dies. A freaking seashell decides the fate of humanity. What is this? SpongeBob's lost episode? Symbols are basically code words for pain. You ever notice how 80% of symbolism just means somebody's depressed? Rain, they're sad. A bird flying, they're finally free from their taxes, their trauma, or their ex. A cracked mirror? Buddy, that's not bad luck. That's a shattered identity. Meanwhile, I'm sitting there like, maybe the mirror just fell, you maniacs. Why writers do it anyway? Let's give them a break. Okay, let me be fair. Writers aren't just screwing with us. They use symbolism because sometimes the truth is too raw to just spit out. You want to say, my dad never hugged me? You can't just write that in a novel. No, so you write about a cold fireplace in an empty house. Now that's literature, baby. It's like telling your crush, I like you, versus showing up in a rainstorm with flowers and crying to Ed Sheeran. Same message. One gets you blocked, one gets you a Pulitzer. Look, students today, God bless you. You're reading The Hunger Games thinking it's about bows and arrows, and suddenly your teacher's like, it's a metaphor for oppression and resistance. The kids are like, nah, miss, I just like Katniss. She's a baddie. And don't act like we weren't the same. Back in my day, I read Animal Farm thinking it was about pigs. Next thing I know, I'm learning about Stalin and Trotsky and how the pig is actually a dictator. I signed up for literature, not a freaking political science degree. But maybe, just maybe, symbolism's kind of brilliant. You can say a million things with a flower. You can turn a storm into heartbreak. You can turn a single pair of shoes into generational trauma. That's why writers do it. It's like emotional Morse code. And maybe, just maybe, it's kind of fun decoding this stuff. Makes you feel smart. Makes you feel like you found something the author didn't even know they put in. Writers be like, yo, I just liked green lights, and we're out here writing thesis papers on it. So yeah, writers use symbolism because they're trying to speak without yelling. It's not just a bird. It's not just a tree. It's feelings, hidden, buried, wrapped up in metaphors, and released into your brain like a freaking fortune cookie. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go stare at a window and pretend it means something. Peace.